Americans did not stop wanting trucks. They stopped trusting what new trucks have become. Because when someone pays $70,000 for a pickup, they are not expecting warning lights at 8,000 miles. They are not expecting a dead screen before the first set of tires. They are not expecting software glitches, oil problems, dealership visits, and a payment that keeps showing up even when the truck does not. A new truck used to mean one thing: peace of mind. Now, for a lot of Americans, the new truck feels like the risk, and the math is finally catching up to the feeling. The price got normal. A $70,000 truck used to sound extreme. It used to sound like something fully loaded, something for a contractor, a rancher, a business owner, or someone who needed serious capability every single day. But according to Kelly Blue Book data from Cox Automotive, the average transaction price for a full-size pickup in April 2026 was $66,705. Not the most expensive truck, not the wildest trim, the average full-size pickup. And the same data showed luxury full-size pickups near $94,765. So when normal buyers walk into a Ford, Chevy, GMC, or Ram dealership, they are not always chasing luxury. Many of them are just trying to buy a normal truck. But the normal truck is now sitting dangerously close to $70,000. And that changes everything. Because once the price gets that high, buyers stop asking only, "Can I buy this?" They start asking, "Can I trust this?" The payment still runs. Now, let's run the math. A $70,000 truck financed over 84 months at around 8% interest can easily create a payment around $1,000 a month or more, depending on the down payment, taxes, fees, trade-in, and credit profile. That's the number on the paperwork. That's the number that sounds painful, but possible. But the payment is not the full cost. It's only the entrance fee. Now add insurance. A newer expensive truck can easily cost around $250 a month to insure. Now add fuel. A full-size truck is not sipping gas. Call it around $300 a month. Now add maintenance, tires, registration, and repairs. Call it another $200 a month. Payment, $1,000. Insurance, $250. Fuel, $300. Everything else, $200. Real monthly cost around $1,750. That's about $58 a day, every day, whether the truck is driven or not, whether the truck is working or not, whether the screen works or not, whether the check engine light is on or not. And that's why the trust problem matters. Because if a $1,750 truck spends 2 weeks sitting at a dealership, the buyer still loses around $800 in ownership cost during that time. The truck may be parked, but the math is still moving. The loan is still moving. The insurance is still moving. The depreciation is still moving. The household budget is still bleeding. That's the part people feel. A $70,000 truck does not get cheaper just because it has problems. It gets more frustrating. Buyers are stretching. This is not happening in a vacuum. According to Edmunds, the average monthly payment for a financed new vehicle reached $773 in the first quarter of 2026. The average amount financed hit a record $43,899, and 22.9% of financed new car purchases used loans of 84 months or longer. That means nearly 1 in 4 finance buyers is now signing up for 7 years of payments. 7 years! Think about where you were 7 years ago. Different job, different rent, different gas prices, different insurance, different life. Now imagine signing a truck loan today and betting that your life stays stable until 2033. That's not confidence. That's financial pressure wearing a nice dealership smile. An 84-month loan does not mean the truck became affordable. It means the buyer needed more time to make the price look possible. And possible is not the same as affordable. The trust problem. High payments would be easier to accept if buyers felt like they were getting bulletproof reliability in return. But that belief is cracking. Across social media, truck owners are posting the same kind of story in different words. Brand new trucks with warning lights, trucks with oil issues, trucks with electrical problems, screens that glitch, tailgates that refuse to open, running boards that stop working, dashboards going dark, transmission fear, engine fear, and dealership visits that shouldn't feel normal on a vehicle that costs more than many people used to pay for a house down payment. The emotion behind those posts is not just frustration, it's betrayal, because the whole reason people buy new is to escape repair anxiety. But if the $70,000 truck still gives you repair anxiety, what exactly did you pay for? And this is not only a TikTok feeling. In January 2026, NTSA opened a recall query into nearly 600,000 General Motors trucks and SUVs after reports of engine failure concerns connected to the 6.2-liter L87 V8 engine. These weren't old beaters with 200,000 miles. These were modern trucks and SUVs, still expensive, still complicated, still creating fear. That doesn't mean every truck is bad. That doesn't mean every brand is the same. And it doesn't mean nobody should buy new. But it explains why buyers are paying attention. Because when a truck costs $30,000, people tolerate imperfections. When it costs $70,000, expectations change. At $70,000, buyers aren't just paying for leather seats. They're paying for confidence. They're paying for reliability. They're paying for the feeling that at least this part of life is handled. And when the truck breaks that promise, the whole purchase starts to feel like a mistake. The middle class problem. Now compare this to income. The U.S. median household income was $83,730 in 2024. That's household income, not one person, the whole household. Now look at the truck math again. A real monthly ownership cost of $1,750 is $21,000 a year. That's about 25% of an $83,730 household income before taxes, before rent, before groceries, before health insurance, before childcare, before credit cards, before emergency savings, before retirement, before life. That's why this hits normal Americans so hard. The dealership sees a payment, the lender sees an approval, the manufacturer sees a sale. But the household sees something different. They see the emergency fund that never grows, the credit card balance that never falls, the vacation that never happens, the house down payment that keeps moving further away, the bad job they can't leave because the truck payment is waiting. And that's when a truck stops feeling like freedom. It starts feeling like a financial boss sitting in the driveway. Here is the brutal math invests number. If that same $1,050 a month were invested instead of spent on a truck payment, for 30 years, at a hypothetical 8% annual return, it could grow to around $1.56 million. That does not mean nobody should ever buy a truck. Returns are not guaranteed, life is not a spreadsheet, and some people truly need a truck. But the math shows the size of the trade. A $70,000 truck is not just taking a monthly payment. It may be taking future wealth. It may be taking flexibility. It may be taking years of breathing room. That is why the question is not only, can I make the payment? The better question is, what does this payment stop me from becoming? This is why older trucks are starting to look different. Not perfect, just different. A paid-off truck can break. A paid-off truck can be annoying. It can need tires. It can need repairs. It can have rust, miles, dents, and a radio that feels ancient. But the risk matches the price. If an older paid-off truck needs $3,000 in repairs in a year, that is painful. But spread over 12 months, it's $250 a month. And even a well-chosen 3-year-old used truck might run around $900 to $1,000 a month total, instead of $1,750 for a new $70,000 truck. That difference is $750 to $850 every single month. That's grocery money, emergency fund money, credit card payoff money, retirement money, breathing room money. And that's the psychological shift. People are not comparing perfect old trucks to perfect new trucks. They're comparing known problems to expensive uncertainty. They're asking, why should I take on a massive payment if I still get warning lights? Why should I buy new if new no longer feels safe? That's the problem the industry has not fully answered. Americans still love trucks. That's not changing. They love the capability. They love the size. They love the feeling. They love what a truck represents. But more buyers are realizing that a truck can look strong from the outside and make the household weaker on the inside. Because a $70,000 truck does not only take money, it takes options, it takes flexibility, it takes breathing room, it takes the ability to survive a bad month without panic. And when that same truck also creates repair anxiety, the deal starts to fall apart emotionally. That is why Americans no longer want $70,000 trucks anymore. Not because trucks are useless, not because everyone suddenly became cheap, not because people stopped caring about capability, but because the price went up, the payment went up, the technology went up, the complexity went up, and for many buyers, the trust went down. The payment is not the full story. The approval is not proof. The warranty is not peace of mind. And normal does not mean affordable. Because if a $70,000 truck leaves you with no savings, no margin, no peace, and fear of the next warning light, it's not a truck. It's a warning sign sitting in the driveway. What is the absolute most you would pay for a truck in 2026? And do you think $70,000 trucks are becoming normal or completely insane? Tell me in the comments. I'll see you in the next one.